and move to something interesting now, technology in sports. A group of young men came up with an application that will help football lovers, and not only football lovers rather, but sports lovers, to help them get pitches in Nairobi and across the country. This morning, Edward Kitili spoke to them and he filed this.
Well, Robinson, we are at the Greenbelt Car Bazaar, where we are having a tournament today to commemorate the Grao. That's an application that can enable all the footballers and maybe stakeholders in the world of sports to be able to book a place or a playing ground in matters of sports, maybe tennis courts, football grounds, and maybe I'll be able to hold tournaments over there. And today I'm joined by one, Hilary Otieno, who is just to give me more details about what Grao is all about and how the application works and how efficient it is to the world of sports. Welcome to KTN Scoreline.
Thank you.
Tell me more about this application, Grao. How did you come about it?
I've been playing football for quite a while, and late last year, as I was seated, we came up with this. We thought, what if we had an Airbnb but for sports pitches? And that's how we came up with Grao.
All right, how does the application work basically? Do you book a Grao like Uber, the way you book a Uber cab or something?
Yes, we are partnering with private facilities to enable users book the facilities instantly. You can be able to access the calendar, see which slots are free, and then proceed to book via M-Pesa, and then just show up and play. So it's discover, book, and play.
Basically, for those who are not tech geeks or who don't understand the world of technology, how can you put it in simple words? You go do this, and then you are able to use the facility like today we are here at the Greenbelt Car Bazaar.
So you log on to patagrao.com. There you'll be able to look at a location. If you're in Nairobi or Kisumu, you can select which town you are, and you can be able to choose which sport it is you want to participate in, if it's a gym, if it's a swimming pool, if it's a football pitch. So once you've selected and then you click on search or find facility, it will bring you a list of facilities according to what criteria you've chosen.
All right. Now are we only talking about football here, or do we have like tennis courts, basketball courts, and many other grounds for different sports?
We are just launching, but we are starting with football, but we plan to scale up to the whole sports range. We're starting with Nairobi, and we also plan to spread out to major towns, Nairobi, Mombasa, Kisumu, Nakuru, Eldoret. But our starting point is Nairobi, and our starting sport is football, because it's the most popular, and we plan to scale it up to the whole sports range.
So we're talking basically about technology in the world of sports, and we are starting with football here. How efficient do you think it's going to be in the next maybe few years? How accessible to people will it be?
As we are starting, we are getting many people interested in the app in sports. As we slowly improve, many people will join.
Are we only in Nairobi for the launch only be happening here in Nairobi only?
Yes, it's only in Nairobi, but we'll have several launches in other locations as time goes by.
We are not so much technologically enabled. All fans of football, all fans of tennis and other sports are not that much into technology, the way you book a cab, the way you book a ground. What are some of the challenges that you are anticipating for maybe as you go on with the launching?
Some of the challenges we are anticipating are like partnership with grounds and public facilities with the government, or we are in talks with them. We are trying to mitigate uptake of technology with partnerships such as with these mobile producers like Techno. We've been in talks with them with the hopes of eventually having the app pre-installed in the mobile phones as they come, because it's big in the Kenyan market. And they're also pro sports and development of sports, yes.
In your launching today, do you have like some of the tournament here? Because I can see people in the background warming up. What is the tournament all about today?
The tournament is all about equal access. The tournament today involves players and managers. We don't require anybody to come with a team. You can just come individually and register, and we'll hook you up with a team to play with. Those who are registered as managers will be able to choose from a pool of players and manage them to try and win the cup. Yes.
Talking about an application, of course, you have the online portal access. Did you have like such, and how many facilities are we talking about that are accessible by us of today online?
Today we have 2 facilities that are partnering with us, but that's our starting point. But our vision is to map out the whole of Kenya map out all sports facilities in Kenya within the next 12 months, and in the next 3 years, map out the whole of sub-Saharan Africa. Yes, so our starting point is our minimum viable product is 2 facilities, but we plan to grow that over time. Yes.
Well, thank you so much, Hilary. Now, talking about the facilities and development in technology in the world of sports, football, tennis courts, maybe in the next few months, in the next few years, be able to do such bookings online, pay online, and be able to access such facilities. But how wide is that? If you talk about accessibility in Nairobi, we have other big towns such as Mombasa, we have Uwanja wa Mbuzi and Bomu Stadium, which can be included in your online portals. How easy do you think that's going to be for you guys to like incorporate all other stadiums or other basketball courts all around the country?
Basically, we've with the reception we've gotten from the stakeholders so far, it's been positive. People are actually waiting for the system to work, which it does. We actually had initial talks. We actually had initial talks with the county government of Mombasa. They're very much interested when they're developing the facilities, and it's a partnership that we are pursuing. All things are held constant. Hopefully, we'll get them on board, and this would be a working partnership for us.
How many teams are we expecting here, and how is the motivation so far for people to join Grao?
The reception has been well. Actually, up until last night at 10 p.m., Harry here was still receiving calls from teams. This morning, that the teams that were confirming. So we expect at least 16 teams to participate. But one thing about Grao that we try to do is we connect people through sports. And by connection here, it's actually going to be real networking. So totally play with teammates who you don't know, or you've always seen them as opponents, and then you'll have a coach whom you don't know or doesn't know you, or knows only a few people in the team, so that it enhances that networking aspects and connection. Because one of the things in sports is it should be able to break barriers, and that's one of the ways we are trying to push faster.
Robinson, this is the future of grounds here, both in the country, soccer ground, basketball courts, tennis courts, and even hockey grounds here in the country. The launching here at Green Car Bazaar in Nairobi, and of course in the next few months, few years, we'll be traveling to Mombasa and Nakuru and Kisumu, another big chance to do the launching. This is the future and technology in the world of sports, but today we're just starting with football.